Alright guys, welcome back to a brand new video. So today I'm going to show you how to create time-lapse videos with Filmora. So if you followed my last video on how to set up your Ender 3 to be able to take pictures for a time-lapse video with a DSLR camera, then this is the next video that you're going to want to watch. So what we're using here is Filmora. It's from a company called Wondershare. It's a really easy editing software to use. It's free in a sense where you can kind of download it and mess around and learn with it, but to be able to export videos out of it, you have to pay their licensing fee, which is about $60 a year. I've been using this for about a year and a half now. I use this to make all my YouTube videos, some of my shorts, depending on, you know, the topic of the short or whatnot. So within Filmora, right, you need to do one of two things, or a couple things here before you really start creating your video. So you need to determine your video resolution, or the size of the screen that you're going to be displaying this on, right? So 9:16 portrait is the size that you're going to want for like a TikTok video, Instagram, or YouTube short. If you're making just a straight YouTube video, it's 16:9 widescreen, right? So since we're going to be making a short here, we're going to leave it on 9:16, and then we want to drag all of those images that your camera took from your 3D print into this media folder here. Click on import, or you can just click on that right here. So I had a pirate sword that I had 3D printed, and I did a time lapse on, and I have about 500 and something images on here. So I'm going to click on one of them within this folder, and then I'm going to hit Control and then the letter A on my keyboard, select all, and then I'm going to click Open. Now, once these are all in my media folder, I'm simply just going to drag them down to the timeline down here. It's going to take a few seconds. This depends on how many pictures you have and how fast your PC is. All right, it always puts this empty space in front of here. I'm not quite sure why, but you can just click on that and hit delete. And then your very next step, right, we need to convert this to a video. We can't really mess with the time, like you can mess with the timing on here, like how long each of these clips is displayed, but I have a way that's a little bit easier. So we're going to click on export. We're not going to modify anything with the video, no zoom, coloring, or anything like that yet. So we're just going to click export, and we're going to pick a folder. I have a folder called TL Vids for time-lapse vids, and we're going to call this Pirate Sword 1. And I'm going to hit export. Now this is going to take a few minutes. It may take longer depending on how many images you have once again. All right, now that it's complete, you'll see converted successfully 100%. You just close this out. All right, so the next step, what I like to do, I like to get rid of all the pictures, right? We already exported the video, so I'm just going to delete these all from my media folder. And then it takes them right from the timeline. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that video from the timeline. We called it Pirate Sword 1. So now, this is the video that it created from all of those clips. Now, I'm going to expand the screen here so you can see a little bit better. You can see how slow it's moving. Now, if I drag this kind of through, you can kind of get an idea what the time lapse is going to look like, right? So what we need to do now is we need to speed this up. So what I'm going to do is we're going to right click on the video on the timeline. You're going to go to show speed control. Now, in this little blue area here is a drop down menu, and it's kind of hard to find on a really long clip. So what you can do, you can just drag this slider towards minus, and then you'll see it pop up right here. And then we're going to go fast. We're going to go 100x, and then we can expand, or we can drag our slider back over. Now, if you look, this clip is about 20 something seconds long here, 26, 27 seconds long. So what we can do now, at 100x speed, we can preview this at 100x speed, and you can see that build out a little bit better, right? So if this speed is good for you, then that's all you have to do basically. You can add any intro, ending screens, music, and stuff like that in with it, and be done with it. But this seems a little slow for my liking, so I have a trick to be able to speed that up even more. So all we're gonna do with this at 100x is we're gonna export it once more. And we're going to export it as Pirate Sword. We'll call it 3 this time. All right, so we're done at 100% once again. We can close out this window. All right, so next step, now that we exported it the second time, we can come down here to our timeline, We can delete that out of there. We can delete it out of our media folder here. And then we will go in and we will add Pirate Sword 3, which was the last one that we just exported. We're going to drag that down to our timeline. Now, first thing off the bat, we're going to go show speed control. And then we're going to take it and let's put it at like 20x. Now you see that this clip is pretty quick. So maybe 20x is a little too fast. Let's bring it down to 2x. And we can expand our screen. We can hit play. And that's more of the speed that I typically use in my time-lapse videos that I put out there. You can customize the speed of it. You don't have to pick one of the ones from the menu here. Let's try 8x and see what it looks like. That's pretty good. So now what you want to do is you want to make any alterations to your video, right? If I want this zoomed in a little bit more, I can bring this into about, we can bring it into about here. We can drag it over, center it on the screen a little bit better. We can preview it right here if we want. Let's move it over a little bit. Let's actually shrink it. There we go. And then you can also mess with the color here. So within Filmora, one thing I like to use is called dark film, and that kind of brings the contrast out a little bit on here. So it looks pretty cool. 8x still seems a little fast. Let's actually bring it down to 4x and see what it looks like. All right. And then one trick you may see people do is they'll have this build all the way up and then they'll have it shrink back down. So to be able to do that, you basically just highlight this video clip in the timeline, right click, copy. You can also do Control-C. And then what you want to do is you want to bring your slider over here. If you leave your slider on here when you paste the clip back in, it's going to paste it and cut out portion of this. So Control-V, we can paste it in here. And we can just left click it with the mouse, drag it to there. And then if we want the reverse effect, we'll just double click on this second clip and we can go to speed. And there's an option in here called reverse speed. All right. Now, I'm going to hit stop. That brings my slider all the way back to the beginning. We'll bring it to full screen here and you can see what I'm talking about. Now you see the flashes in the video. That's due to the window next to where my 3D printer is. So if you want a real consistent video, you want to make sure that you have consistent lighting, right? I see people use like LED lighting, like LED strips and whatnot to add some really cool stuff in the background. The starry background you see there is just a poster board print that I got from Staples, and I have it mounted to a piece of cardboard behind the printer, so I have some kind of nice kind of backdrop for my videos. So you can play around with that. Like if I want to add music to this, I have a whole folder of music. So if you're a YouTuber, and you should know that YouTube Studio has a ton of audio clips that you can download for free and use in your videos, right? You can just drag your audio down here on the bottom. I'm going to cut out a lot of the intro to this video, so I'm going to highlight that clip. I'm going to bring my slider over where I want to clip it, and I'm going to hit the little scissors here. I can hit delete, and then delete once again. That'll bring it over here, and then we can expand this, and you can kind of get an idea what this sounds like. And that's all there is to it. All right, and if you guys have social media like TikTok or Instagram or even YouTube, make sure to tag me in any of your time lapses if you want. I'd love to see your end result if you used my video to help you create this. That'd be really cool. But thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to hit that like button. Please consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot and helps me keep this content coming to you guys. Till next time.